Good afternoon, madam. Dr. Rebak, madam. Dr. Rebak, can you hear us? Sunil Garu will start the session by 4 o'clock, certainly. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay. How are you, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Our convener will. I'm Sunil, coordinator, ma'am.
Yeah. I'm just saying, how are you?
Yes, ma'am. I'm fine. Thank you, ma'am. How are you, ma'am?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you.
Ma'am, we'll start the session by 4 o'clock, ma'am.
Right.
Please wait for
I'm just checking whether am I audible or not. That's the reason.
Yes,
Can you check if I can share the screen?
sure. Please share your screen.
Yeah. Should I do F? I mean, just check if I do F5, is it coming, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
It's visible, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, we saw you in 30 minutes back, ma'am. You are joined 30 minutes back, I think.
Yeah. I was just, I just want to find a link between the previous lecture and what I am saying. So I heard ma'am speaking about imbalanced data set and all. So even I was learning something at time. So
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Ma'am, with your permission, shall I start?
yeah, please. Yeah, please.
Good afternoon, ma'am. We, the Department of CSC, Sri Vishnu Engineering College for Women, Bhimavaram. We cordially invite you to this faculty development program, ma'am. First of all, I would like to convey our thanks to spare your valuable time despite of your busy schedule. Before entering into the session, let me take the privilege to introduce you, ma'am. It is my great honor to introduce Dr. DrRebakahGeddam. Dr. Rebecca is currently working as assistant professor in the Computer Science and Engineering Department, Nirma University, Ahmedabad, Gujarat, India. She has academic experience of more than 14 years. She has received her BTech in Computer Science Engineering from JNTU, Hyderabad, and MTech in Computer Science Engineering from KU, and a PhD from GLS School of Doctoral Research Innovations. She works in the area of embedded systems, Internet of Things, augmented reality, brain-computer interface, machine learning, and data science. She is an IBM certified data analyst in Python and R, and an expert person for Atal. Ma'am, really, all our participants are happy to have such a great person as a resource person in this faculty development program. Now I request you to enlighten our participants with your knowledge. Now the platform is yours.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your kind in introducing. I'm just sharing the screen. So once again, please let me know.
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah, I hope the screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Can you make it presentation?
Acha, I have done presentation mode. It didn't come. Let me go back again.
Actually, we are getting both the design slides. Side by side.
Okay, so you want me to do only the presentation?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Is it now?
Give me a minute. Ma'am, we are not getting anything.
Acha. When I'm doing the presentation, I think that is opening in another window. So should I do entire screen?
अगं ये बाई हुड नको मला झोपायचं असतं ना पुढून ताशी घेते जसं काही मी पाला पाहतो
Yes, I hope now it is okay.
मी थकली मी
Yes,
थकली
ma'am. Now it is clear.
Okay. 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 So I would thank the Vishnu Engineering College for Women, Bhimavaram, for giving me this time so that we can discuss something. And we more of not, we are not, it's not like something which I'm going to teach or I'm going to share whatever the projects that I have done, especially as in the AI-based applications and the cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is like we have only searched for where we can work and improve our projects. But today we will see more about like where the cybersecurity, we are using healthcare informatics. Now, healthcare informatics are everyday use, and we are using AI for the healthcare informatics. So, what is a security, and how does it affect a security? So that's what something which we're going to see. So we're going to see the basics of healthcare, why and where the security options for it, and 2-3 case studies which I have already done and as a project and presented as a paper in IEEE transactions and all. I would discuss with you, right? So when we are talking about the smart healthcare informatics, now every after COVID, like there were a lot of things going on, like how can we make our health smart and then cities smart and building smart. So everything is becoming smart. What do you mean by smart? It's like where we are including the Internet of Things into the protocol. So we are including the Internet of Things to improve and we're getting the information, the informatics, right? So when we're talking about the informatics, it is like behavior and the structure of any system. Now behavior, when it is a disease generated, how does it work and how does it report to the doctor, or how does it store the person's history, or how do we the census store and analyze the history. So this is all about the informatics. So when we're talking about informatics, computer science is a software, computer engineering we are doing with the people and we are giving their informatics. So we can say that like AI is the center for information science, for healthcare, for computer science, having an intersection for the big data and data analytics. So we are going for the health informatics with automations. Everything has become automated now. Everything, like we can talk about we operate on our mobile devices. We have an iOS systems, and then the hospitals are getting the information to it. And when we're the clinical data, which we are sending, the clinical data is going through the networking, the claim management, and then it is improving the results. So basically, our idea is to automate everything. So we have done a project which we will see in the later end upon this automation and how cybersecurity will help us, or how we should take care more of the data we are sharing on this internet domain. So the subdomains, if you're talking about a single person, the subdomains are like, we start with so many things like personal disease management and then sleep management and then, but the main things which we'll see today is like medical informatics, public health informatics, e-health and telemedicine. Only out of all this healthcare, we will only focus upon which is the bold one. Now, when we're talking about e-health, it is already, that has started already in 1970, which is the classical medical informatics. And then by 1985, it has become telematics, where the early telephone systems have come out. And then by 1995, it has become more of a e-health. So we had medical informatics right from 1970s, but now there is no concern at that time because we are meeting the doctor face to face, or we are meeting and we are getting the papers or the reports personally. When this medical informatics is there from 1970, but now after 1995, it has become more of an internet oriented e-health. So when we are talking about when we are giving our data onto the internet, there is something called which may be permissive and invasive health after 2005, because there is an intelligent era where the task is done intelligently, but still of how far is a data secure. Like, and then we have the mobile health. So mobile health is we have so many apps generated in our day-to-day life where apps are we use apps to monitor and aggregate the patient level health, and then we are even the patients use as well as we as the researchers and also as the doctors at the clinical data they also use. So when and then the doctors have a real-time monitoring of these patients. So the e-health has taken into a drastic change of an m-health. Now, what is telemedicine? It's like remotely someone is like, even we are now across this, even in COVID, we have faced this, like where we are remotely accessing the patients. And when the modern technology is enabling the doctor to see the tools, the video, like by using video conferencing tools, or the reports are given, and then the telemedicine software is activated. So when we are talking about this healthcare, it has become from reactive to proactive support. So what is reactive? We used to react when there is a disease, but now what we are doing is we are proactive. We are taking care before the disease comes over us, or we are taking the turns of before it has come. So when we are talking about, see, we have it in the residential care, we have an assisted living, and then we have a skilled nursing facility, then we have in the, if there's an acute care, we have the ICUs, when in the home care also we have independent health living and all, communities and doctor office, which is all connected to the technology. So when we see the quality of life has increased, it has been increased from reactive to the proactive, right? So how does the cyber security comes into the healthcare? Because we are all like, we are in the area of microwave, everything to be an instant, getting an appointment an instant, talking to the expert in an instant, getting the medicine in an instant. So when we are in the rush of this instant world, there is some threat to the data which we share in the healthcare. So I have just, what are the threats that can be? So when we are sharing across the sites, then there may be cross-site scripting, there may be a password attack, there may be a eavesdropping, and then we have something called AI-powered attack also. The intelligence system we make to solve the problem, even the malware and the firmware are intelligent enough to attack. So that is what is the AI-powered attack. Then we have phishing and ransomware. So these are all the healthcare systems or wherever we are generating or are prone to all these attacks. And what does, yes, and what does the data say? If we compare from 2010 to 15, now this is the data is connected from 2019, that is before COVID. Till COVID, if we can look about the data, the number of breaches have risen like anything. The improper disposable, and then there's a loss of data, there's a hacking, there's a theft, then unauthorized access of the data and all. This is the data which is recently collected after COVID. The IBMs came along together to collect. So when we can see the highest data breach, there are so many industries, if you look at all the public sector, hospitality and all, but the highest data breach is helping with the healthcare. So in 2021, it has really, the cost is like 9.23 million US dollars. So much of the data breach has been done. Now, it is our responsibility when we are making so smart systems. So we should take care of the data which is placed into our hands also. So we will see different case studies. I'll come to this later. There is one case study which I would like to show with this, is which we have done, is the smart aging system. Now, this is a project which we have considered, which is called smart aging system. The smart aging system is, we all have our elderly parents at home. They are at home alone, and then there are people who, like, the mobility may be limited, and then we may be away from our parents, or we may be not 24/7 with our parents, and there's constantly there's something behind the screen which moves us inside, that we have to monitor them or keep track of them, or find out how their whereabouts is. So this project or this case study is about the smart aging system. So how does it work? Is the smart aging system is, we are learning the daily routines and we are performing the activity profiles for several weeks. First, we study the elderly people daily routine. How do they start with? Are they starting with a shower, or are they starting with the a cup of coffee, or is it starts with the light on, or does it starts with when they're taking a medicine? So how does it take place? Then we are continuously, we have installed sensors, and we are continuously monitoring these activities, and we are comparing the profiles. Like last week, this was the activity. Yeah, this is the activity supposed to be, and we have some activity which is not happening. So this is not possible if we don't go for a IoT device, because millions of kilometers away from each other, where we are not connected physically, but still we can sense or we can find the data from our parents, right? So when the system, what does it do? How does the AI how does the AI help? The AI can detect what is the decreased level of activities. Did there any, like they have started with a cup of coffee, but then they are not taking coffee. How do we know? I'm going to tell you the solution. Or the violations of the doctor recommendation. The doctor has asked to do some 100 meters walk, or 50 meters walk, or five something the doctor has recommended, and our parents, they are not able to uh, uh, what do you call, reach the limit where they have. So that is the violations of it. So what are we doing? We are taking care of the patient, we are measuring their activities, and then this is given to the data collection, data processing, and then ADL activity daily recognitions. We are generating a pattern. If there is any anomaly detection or forecasting, we are seeing, and then we are recommending. So this is how the smart aging proposal or the project has worked with the AI. Now, this is how we have worked with the sensing units. So if the elderly patient, he is starting with a cup of coffee, so the kettle will be on. So we can install a pressure sensor or a infrared sensor in the kitchen area. So when the kitchen light is on or near the kettle, we can also install a sensor. So we have installed different sensors, like one near the cooking area or the kettle area, one near the microwave, and then near the TV, and then in the washrooms or in the laundry things. We have installed in a number of things, even in the private washrooms, and then in the outdoor door. So every activity, whenever our parents or elderly parents are taking care, at least we get some sort of a data that the kettle is on, the microwave is on. Sometimes what happens, the microwave, there is a forgetfulness as we age. So sometimes the kettle may be left for too long. So there should be some sensing activity which brings us back, or the microwave can be. So we have connected the whole house with a group of networks. Now the idea may be seeming very nice, like we have connected, but can we think on the other side? If it's about security, we have given the we have violated our own privacy policies. We don't want any intruder into our private rooms. I mean, especially so when we have a system like this, which is very, very personal, which is very, very private for us, and still we want to access the system. So the question comes, how does the security matters, or how far is the security given to us? So when we think about that, I think sometimes we may think ki, we may have a lot of doubts, like, is it truly validated of having all the sensing units when we are breaching our security? But then what is the next solution? So the next solution, apart from having sensors, apart from connecting it to the IoT, apart from using the AI algorithms, do we have a solution? No. So then what is the precautions we have to take care? So the precautions would be to strengthen wherever each layer, when we're talking about the network layers, the physical layer to be strengthened, the data sense layer to be strengthened. So each layer should have some checkpoints that we will see. First, we'll see how AI is used in this healthcare system, and then we can see how we can protect our system or strengthen our system. So these are number of sensors which you can see on the screen. We have a sensor at each and every corner where the aged patients are there, so that even when they're lying down, we know for how many hours the patient is lying down. Sometimes they may not be able to get up, or there may be some emergency, or there may be something. So if there is an anomaly, or if there is some violation of the daily activity routines, usually our elderly parents, they are very strictly, they are very attuned to strictly follow the routine. They never violate. Maybe it is like 94%, 95% of accuracy, they follow the routine. So we have taken the advantage of that, and then we have sensed the system. So now this is how the proposed model works. Is we have a room heater, then we have a wake up, then we have a go to bed, use of electric stove, micro oven, dishwashing, toaster, kettle, electric oven, dining table. These are all the kitchen appliances. The room heater from the bed and all we have to the bedroom. Then in the living room also we had a sensor. In when they're watching TV, or they're relaxing, or when they're using the computer. So all the rooms like bedroom, the kitchen, and the living room, everything is, and the bathroom is connected, and even the entry and exit is connected. So this is how the modules or the sensors of networks are connected. And how does we do for each activity, the sub activity? Like for example, if you're talking about an activity, what is the time, what is the location, what is the contest? Like for example, going to bed, then checking back door, checking front door, turning off the lights, laying on the bed. So this is the routine normally. So are we getting the data from the back door sensor? Are we getting the data from the front door sensor? Are all the lights turned off and it is lying on bed? So everywhere we have a PIR sensor for the back door and the front door. We have a light sensing unit for the light, and a pressure sensing unit when they're lying on the bed. So this is one representation of a sensor activity. How we go to, when we have collected the data, this is how we have got like morning 8 o'clock, and then we have then the sub activities also we have got. This data is from the light sensor. So when we are transferring this into the models, like this is actually, we have found out if there's any dementia parents, especially for the patient parents where there is some possibility of dementia and the elderly subjects. So we have started monitoring, and we can see the red or the maroon, the closing and the opening door. We can see when, if we look at the graph, it is very absolutely seen. And if there's something which is missing in between that, then there is an anomaly, then there is a violation. So how do we do now? This is like we are getting the data right from that opening the door till they're sleeping, and then again dishwashing, then we have the outdoor activity. So if you can see the complete the model is generated using the AI also. So how do we ensure that the security, they are secure enough? Then now taking this again, I'll show you the another case study where it is again related to the healthcare, and at the end we'll come back for the cyber security precautions which we are using. So this is what we have seen is a smart aging system where the data is collected from every activity of the patient, from starting from the morning till the end. So when we are taking each and every sub activity, and then we are using the objective views, when we are finding out how secure is the data from the parents, how secure is the data. So the next application, the next case study I want to discuss is we worked upon the we had an AI algorithm for the fall detection. Now that is for dementia elderly parents. We had a proposed system, and the second thing we had it for the Parkinson. So whenever we are talking about the Parkinson patients, the healthcare in the Parkinson patients, so and in the place where we belong to a developing country like India, we are not very much even the smart aging system. How many of our homes do they how many of our homes can incorporate all these sensors? Is it possible? So we are still in the cradle stage where we are trying to do little by little. I know many of us by now, maybe we would have gone for CCTVs in the home for our elderly protection. CCTVs are fine, but then one level for the healthcare comes for the sensors, the actual motion trackers or the actual moving. Now CCTV, we are having a camera for motion tracking. How long? If they're out of the area of the CCTV. So because of this, the research problem, we did the smart agent system with using all the sensors. The same, similarly, we had it for the Parkinson people also. We have developed AI algorithm. Now, when we are talking about the Parkinson people, one where there are many symptoms for them. They have their bending of the shoulders, and then they have the shivering of hands, shivering of legs. Then they have the drooping of the head. But there is one particular symptom which they have, and which is very, very high prevalent in most of the Parkinson patients, like when they are lifting a foot and when they're placing it back while they are walking. While they're walking, suddenly the nerve, the perineal nerve, which is connected from the brain to the foot, doesn't connect properly. So what happens? The brain is ready. The brain says to them that they have to move forward. But as the nerve, which is connecting to the leg to them, they are not able to put their foot forward. So for that situation, we have developed the product or a sample product where in the shoes, where we can measure. So this is the idea is just like that. I'm not showing the prototype of idea because we are still in the process of patenting it. But the idea is like this: when this is a shoe which has the sensors, the required sensors, and they're tracking, the sensors are tracking each and every moment of the patient. So in the device we had an IMU. So we had a foot sensors. We can see the foot sensors are embedded on the product. So the foot sensors are there, and with the foot sensors we have an accelerometer also, and we have a battery management, because when the Parkinson patients wears the shoes for some amount of time, we need the battery backup. So we had a power management issue, so we put that power management, and it is going to a processor where the data is again, it is segmented. Timely wise, time series data is segmented, and the data from the processor is also running an AI algorithm on the softmax layer, and it is able to predict key now. As the patient is putting their foot on the ground, the foot sensors is not giving the actual value which is to be given. So there may be a problem, and that problem is called as a gait. It is called GAIT. It's called as gait in the Parkinson people. So it is called as gait. So here we are classifying the data which we are getting from the device as three types, which is pre-gait, gait, and the post-gait. So there is some conditions which takes place, as we can see, when the Parkinson patient is putting their foot on the ground. So the pressure sensor values will slightly reduce. Like maybe the pressure sensor at your thumb is 100. Now when the gait situation comes, the pressure sensor may be 50, and then it may come to 45. Similarly, the array of pressure sensors, the whole array of pressure sensors can show us a less value. So at this time, it says that this is a condition where now it is a pre-gait, where gait is completely the freezing of the legs, and then it doesn't support walking. So before the freezing takes place, this is the condition of the patient. And then after the condition, there is a post-gait where it becomes normal. So these are the classification algorithms using AI we have run for gait, pre-gait, and the post-gait. So we have also seen the fall directions, like we have taken in the sagittal plane and the coronal plane and the trunk area, which areas there, the trunk coordinates, because we are using an accelerometer when he's walking or when he's sitting and all. So this is the motion sensing processing unit we have used. That is the MU60X0 motion processing unit, and B is the gyroscope sensor, and which has a 3-axis accelerometer, right? And these are the simulations which we have run in the lab. I'll just run through these simulations. You can see that acceleration we have found, like, in x-axis it is in blue color, y-axis is in yellow color, and a red color in z-axis, and we are able to measure. And according this, what are we finding out is the ADLs, the the activities daily which they are doing, are they standing, are they sitting, are they lying, walking, yeah, bending. And if this is happening, how is the fall taking place? Is it taking place forward? Is it taking backward? Is it leftward? Yeah, rightward. This is all the AI algorithm is run. And if you can see the small device which is presented on near the thigh, so that is, we have a sensor here on the thigh, which is smart, which is nothing but we use the sensor from the smartphone, which we have a smartphone, we have installed our app into it. So the smartphone is generating the pressure, data from the sensors. Then we have one at the waist area and one sensor over the, because we need the coordinates. So we have, whenever they are into the different, we have, then along with this, we have a PIR sensing unit into the different rooms. Like we have a sensing unit, how the smart, they themselves have a device. And now, as I've spoke about the smart aging, it's not only about the houses which have the sensors. Now the person himself is wearing the sensor. The patient himself has a shoes, has a sensor in the waist area and the chest area. So what are we getting? One from the house and one from the person. So we
Hello, ma'am.
There is a small disconnection. I think most probably she'll be getting back. Just a minute. Madam, you are muted, Dr. Rebecca, madam. You are muted. Please unmute yourself and then.
sorry. So where did we lose it, sir?
Now you are audible, madam.
Where did I mute myself?
Madam, just can you repeat what is it?
Yeah, till where was I? I was telling you till where did I mute now itself?
Just now, madam. Just a second before.
Okay. So,
Ma'am,
Can
you
you
already
screen-
completed PIR sensing.
okay, PIR sensing unit. I have
Yes,
finished.
ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Is it in the presentation mode? Nothing is shown? Is it?
Yes, ma'am, nothing is shown.
Hmm. Is it visible now, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay. So we are here. I don't know why this is, it's getting disconnected. Actually, I'm unable to. The presentation mode is not working.
Okay, no problem. You can continue with the design now.
Right. I don't know, it's getting stopped by itself. What's the problem? Okay. So we have the PIR sensor, which is in the device. Yeah.
We are
Is
not
it
able
fine?
to see anything.
Oh my God. Now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, it is.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. So I was saying the device which each and every patient have wearing, they have a PIR sensor, they have a temperature sensor, they have a E device and the help button also. And there is a special the device is embedded into the wireless falling detection device, which is again placed in the shoe, and the client is placed in the shoe and the master is in the app runs with the cloud platform in the mobile, using mobile. So this is where now when the algorithm which we are running here is, when we are starting, we have the data acquisition. If the theta is greater than 40, and the three conditions are checked, where theta standing, lying, and then if the theta is there, then if it is not standing, it is lying. So this is how the complete algorithm are running with the postures. When they are like greater than 40, that is their standing position is true. And when it is greater than 40 but lying forward, then they can be lying backward. So this is how we are checking each and every posture of our elderly parents. So then we had the fall parameters, which we have mapped upon the time using the time and the accelerometer, time and the velocity, even sometimes the speed in which they walk, the speed in which they are lying down also matters. So there also for the monitoring of that, and the angle in which they are. So that is also we are getting the data. So we have the graphs in a different positions, different angles, different, and then for the standing, the before graph which we have seen is for the four kind of falls, that is fall forward, backward, leftward, and rightward. The next is we have for the standing position, where it is if the fall may occur, sitting position is this data, then the lying position. The left and the backward. So this till here it is fine, but how do we ensure that this much of project we have done, we are able to access even the slightest movement of our elderly parents? So as our FDP is upon cyber security, so we were thinking like as a team, I think this has given us a good idea, like where we are going to extend our work. And this is just a proposed work I am discussing with you, because after I got an intimation from Kiran sir, we have thought about it. So I was thinking, why don't we extend the same into the cybersecurity area? So thank you, Kiran sir. You have given us an idea to extend, and then we're going to write one paper. So this is how we were thinking about. If there is what are the vulnerabilities happening, then where can we have the security dimensions? Where will we have the access control should be taken care, the authentication should be taken care, and there should be the people who are not assigned can't access. Then the communication security from the sensors to the local gateway, or from the sensors to the cloud, that should be taken care. Then we have the data integrity, and the how much data we want to available it on the internet, or what is the privacy protocol which we can decide. So these are just, we were just thinking about it, and we were doing an LR. So the cyber, we can think like whatever the systems which we are working upon, we can have the security dimensions in this. And when we are working upon the smart aging system, we thought about key, this is how we are going to think, or how we are going to implement it, that when we are collecting the data, we can put up a protocol or security measures here. Then we can, the network technology which is taking care, like it may be in the cloud, or it may be in the fog, or it may be in the edge. So there we can have some protocols designed. Then we can check whether it is a cyber or it is a physical attack. Sometimes even the physical attacks seem like a cyber. So how can we can design an algorithm and check up those cyber attacks, and then we can have an analytics, see how much we have selected, and then we can use our AI for the complete, for example, for today's data, how secure it is. Yeah, for months data, how secure. We can't go for a month because it becomes too long for us to check over our elderly parents. So we will, like, the best model or the proposed model can be key at the end of the day, have a security checkup at each level. And then we can, if assign a Boolean value to 1 or 0, or to the classification algorithm, we can say this is higher than the threshold or lower than the threshold, and we can I think we can protect the data. So the other model which we were thinking is, we have the behavior. So either we go for the supervised learning and have the ranks, the event ranks, and then you can give it to the again back to help it out. But this is still at a we haven't. So after thinking about how we can extend our project systems having more cyber. So this is one thing which has fascinated me, which I want to share with you all. We always work about privacy. We always work about trust. We always work about malfunctioning of the unit. But what about the other things? What is the cost? How much is the efficiency? How much is the equality? Is it really providing the justice to us? Who are the beneficiaries? How are, like, we were just scrolling upon this idea. I think each domain of the cyber security, I think we can definitely have a lot of discussions and debate and do an LR, like, who are the beneficiaries? We have done a smart agencies.
Sunil garu, is there any technical
sir.
issue?
Yes, sir.
Unda?
Dear participants, please stay connected. Ma'am will get soon. Actually, she's having some network issue.
In between, we can make some announcements and Sunil garu అది చెప్పాలి
Yes,
కదా?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Dear participants, there are small announcements for you. That is, tomorrow is the last day of our sessions, right? And our convener already shared the schedule for tomorrow's session. So based on that, tomorrow the session will start at 1 o'clock. I repeat, tomorrow our sessions will start by 1 o'clock and our valedictory will be at 6 p.m. As per the schedule, by 6 o'clock, the last person will give the lecture. So the valedictory will start by 6 p.m. and the exam link will be shared at 7 p.m. I repeat, valedictory will start at 6 p.m. and exam link will be shared at 7 p.m. And here you need to note that the exam link will be open till 7 to 7:30 only. After 7:30, we'll close the link. No responses will be accepted. I repeat, the exam link will be shared at 7 p.m. The link will be active for 30 minutes, that is 7 to 7:30. After 7:30, the link will be deactivated so that no responses will be accepted. So please note all these things. So tomorrow, I request all the participants to join at 1 p.m. with the same link.
So the resource person is trying to connect back, and most probably within 2 minutes she will be there. And for the participants, without attempting an exam, it's very difficult to provide the certification. So just see that you attempt the exam and clear the exam with the required score. Dr. Rabak.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, you're audible and also visible. Please proceed, madam.
Yeah. Can you tell me where did I get disconnected?
Dr. Sunil.
Yes, sir.
So at what slide madam was disconnected? Just give her a hint so that she will continue from that point.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think I was just talking about when I
Ma'am,
lost the.
you are talking
Yeah.
about the cyber security, ma'am.
Yes,
That
the
is,
last
how you are
one.
connected with green and red connections.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah, this one. So I think this is the last thing I have said. If there's any questions, we can have a talk. So this was the last slide and the references only, sir. I didn't have much of it. And the future prospects, I think we missed this. So these are the areas where we can have our research areas to be extended for all the future prospects.
ma'am, thank you so much. So first of all, we'll go with the audience.
Yeah, please.
Dear participants, so ma'am done with the excellent presentation of several use cases and live examples. So if at all you have any queries, please unmute yourself and you can ask. Ma'am is ready to answer.
Madam, how are you? And it is like 1 year last time when you have participated in our FDP.
Yes, sir. It's 1 year.
So have you been to Andhra Pradesh?
Nah, sir.
No, you're staying in Gujarat itself.
Gujarat. I'm in Gujarat.
Now, what is the demand of cybersecurity, madam? We have started a new course for BTech in cybersecurity from this
Yeah,
year.
that's very nice. Even Nirma has started a cybersecurity in MTech.
MTech.
So
Okay.
they have an MTech in cybersecurity. So there's a lot of scope because the Gandhinagar branch of the Foreign University is there in Gujarat, NFSU.
Okay. These people may chance to have a placement there.
The university, the forensic university. So there's a lot of scope growing for the cybersecurity, sir. There's a lot of scope.
So you're also working in cybersecurity partially.
Not exactly cyber, but AI's algorithms wherever we are needed. Not exactly cybersecurity, but protocol generation, yeah, we do.
What about the placements, madam? Is the placement is on par with the last year that we have? Or the placements are now there is a trend coming down?
Acha, acha. I think here, if you can talk, I mean, if it's like Gujarat, the 50 to 60% of the students go for higher education, sir, usually. So the rest are like, I think they're almost 100% placed. So most of them do their MS in the higher
Yes.
educations. So there is more of students inclined to the higher education band.
But here that is not the case. Like 90% they go for jobs and 5 to 8% they go for higher studies.
Yeah, that's because here in Gujarat, it's a business model. The parents
Yes.
are all having the business families. So the pressure upon the children earning is, I think it's little less when we compare to the South.
Nice, madam. It's actually a privilege to see you online. Again, after 1 year, it seems to be. Is it right?
Yes, sir, yes, sir, exactly. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, madam. Sunil Garu, I think we can conclude.
Yes.
Please.
Yes, sir. Ma'am, thank you so much for your clear presentation, ma'am, because you started with the concepts of basics in the healthcare, then you moved to the role of cybersecurity. When you came the case studies, meanwhile, in the basics, you majorly focused the different types of informatics that we have, that is regarding the health informatics and subdomains that we are automated health informatics. You focused on e-health as well as the m-health and the telemedicine, and how we are using the cyber security in healthcare. You already mentioned with several examples, and you focused with the case study of the fall detection, how the artificial intelligence is going to be used to detect the fall with several use cases. That means how the smart aging system that you already mentioned, how we are going to fit this system for the aged persons and how it is going to be intimated. And you clearly explain about what are the internal process and the connections between these. Then you focused with the fall detection model generations and how these what it is you already mentioned support vector machine is going to be worked, and you already compare different sort of graphs. So really it is a clear and informative session, ma'am, because what you already worked with in artificial intelligence as well as the cyber security with the use case, definitely it is more helpful for all the participants. Really, thank you so much for sharing your valuable knowledge.
Thank you, Sunil sir. You are a keen listener, so I appreciate you for the. Usually, listening online is a big challenging, but you are a good listener.
No, ma'am. Obviously, you are a good teacher, ma'am, because you grabbed my attention. Because from the beginning itself, you have been clearly, neatly, and with a slowly, you dragged me into that content, ma'am. Really, it's mesmerizing.
No,
Thank you so much.
I take it as a compliment. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Anyways, from the Department of CSC, Sri Vishnu Engineering College for Women, Bhimavaram, we thank you, ma'am, for joining with us and sharing your valuable time with us. We hope the same association will continue for the further interactions also. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much, sir. Looking forward. Thank you, sir.
Yes. We'll collaborate in our future endeavors, madam. Thank you.
Done, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So, dear participants, by this note, I'll conclude today's